This story is how I got punched in the nuts as Chucky. Hey, welcome back everybody to a brand new episode. My name is Mr. Brightside, and in today's episode, we're going to be doing a little story time. Now, I am not particularly proud of this. This was a rough day. I used to work at Chuck E. Cheese, and God, that job was the worst job I ever had in my life. Don't ever work there. Just trust me. I'm sure you're like, oh, Chuck E. Cheese, that must be a great job. Oh. But anyway, so I'm gonna preface this story with like introduction to me working at Chuck E. Cheese. So when I started working there, my boss hated me. Like, I don't know why, but from the start, just hated me off the bat and made me do the shittiest of the shit jobs. I had two jobs. I was either up front at Kid Check, where like you stamp parents and the kids' hands when they come in together. That way, nobody abducts your kids, at Chuck E. Cheese, because somebody's gonna steal your kid there. That's where pedophiles are going to look for your children. And then number two was I was Chucky. Yep. I had to do a little shimmy shake and all that. Now, sadly, looking back on it, I don't remember the dance. But if I did, that would be so funny. I think I just tried to like black that like whole memory out of my head of ever working there. So some of the stories are a little faint in my mind, but this one in particular, this story is how I got punched in the nuts as Chucky. So on this particular day, I knew I was in trouble because as I was doing Kid Check and parents were coming in, like sometimes parents would just smell of alcohol. And this one family in particular, when they walked in, oh my God, the parents smelled, it was Sunday. The parents smelled like they've been drinking since Saturday night and they haven't stopped partying. Okay? They didn't look like they dressed their best that day. They looked like they were ready to party at Chuck E. Cheese. And if there's something you don't know about Chuck E. Cheese, which is a really weird fact, they actually serve alcohol there. They serve wine and beer. Now it's only like a two drink limit, but still, these guys were already sloshed, and I knew I was in trouble the minute they walked through the door. And then I found out that they were actually hosting the party. Like, they weren't just like parents bringing their kids for the party. No, they were hosting it. So as soon as I found that out, like, oh God, that party is gonna be ratchet as fuck. And sure enough, I was right. Now, on that day, I had to be Chuck E. Cheese, and the costume, oh my God, the costume is a nightmare. Oh, like, the gloves had holes in them in between the fingers, so sometimes your fingers just, like, fall out of the glove, and all of a sudden there's your fingers out there for little 5 and 6-year-olds to see. Oh yeah, how you doing? And the pants were like too short sometimes, or like some people like me, it was too short. It was made for like people of 5'6". All right. The shirt was all right. That's not really a problem. But the helmet, like the head, was terrible. Like, it didn't have any sort of strap onto the shirt. Like, the shirt should have had Velcro so that the head, doesn't fall off or anything. 'Cause it could and it would. On this day, I get changed, I dress up as Chucky, and I come out, and I'm going towards the birthday kid, and oh my God, this kid looked like Isaac from Children of the Corn. This little mofo just looked so evil. He had this look on his face. I'm like, oh, this isn't gonna be good. This isn't gonna be good. And to be honest, I don't know why I worked at Chuck E. Cheese in the first place, because I am not good with kids. Like, not that I hate kids or something, I'm just, I'm not in love with kids. I don't like to hang out with kids. I'm not a pedophile. I was a 19-year-old male hanging out with 7, 8-year-olds. Doesn't really look too good for you. But yeah, so I'm going over to him, dancing, doing a little dance and blah blah blah. Then going over to him, and he looks at me, and he's like, "Oh, can I get a hug?" And I go, "Sure, yeah, yeah." And I go over like this, "Oh, give me a big hug." And this kid just had like this Arnold Schwarzenegger like arm. Like this child just did a full-on Johnny Cage fatality on my nuts. And oh my god. Oh, I screamed. Like, and not just like a little, oh, it was like, fuck! And I dropped to the ground. The helmet came off. And it's not like just like one party that's there, like, oh, that kid and his 12 friends. No, there's like 3 other parties happening at once. So the helmet comes off, bunch of 5 to like 8, 9-year-olds just looking at me, stunned, just like, and they're all probably on the verge of tears, like all their childhood dreams are just being ripped from their heart. Like Santa's not real, the Easter Bunny's not real, all my favorite Disney characters are not real. What is going on? And so the helmet falls off, I scream, and then I grab the helmet and I just run to the kitchen as fast as I can. I hear children crying behind me and parents just really upset. And so my boss is like yelling at me and I'm like, I just got punched in the balls. Like I couldn't even say I just said that because I couldn't breathe. I'm like sitting on the ground just like this kid just, oh my god, I've never been punched in the balls that hard before. And oh my god, I couldn't deal with that pain. Like I'm sitting there just like on the verge of tears that wanted to flow down my face. Not because like I upset these kids, like no, screw those kids. That kid kicked me in the frickin' or punched me in the balls, man. No. But like I could barely walk the next day. That's how hard I got kicked in the balls. Like if you're not a guy and you're watching this, to be kicked in the balls, it's not really, it is painful, but it makes you sick. Like your stomach just wants to just puke. I don't know why, doesn't make any sense, but that's how it feels. And like the whole next day I was still feeling sick. This kid just really did a number on my testicles. I thought there would never ever be little Dans walking around this earth. Not that there should be, to be honest with you. So I'm sitting there, icing my balls, and the parents of the party that were just already wasted, they wanted a full refund since like I lost the helmet and all these kids are like traumatized for life on this. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, but your kid punched me in the balls. Like, you cheat motherfuckers, you know what happened, but you're just looking to not have to pay a single dime on this. This is all your fault. This is not my fault at all. But that's Chuck E. Cheese for you in a handbasket. Cheap ass parents that don't want to pay for something for a birthday party, so they go to Chuck E. Cheese. Don't ever go to Chuck E. Cheese for a birthday party. Just avoid it at all costs. That's all I have to say about it. But yeah, that's my story about working at Chuck E. Cheese. I have plenty of other stories that I can tell of working there, but that one was by far the worst experience I ever had working there. And guys, leave in the comments down below if you'd like the change of pace of me telling a story, and subscribe to see more of my videos. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.